I'm at the Kochi Fort Harbour right now. A large number of fishers from Kochi and even as far as Tamil Nadu come here to go to the sea for fishing. I'll be taking a boat from here now and going to the sea to meet some marine fishers and speak to them about the issues related to subsidies in the fisheries sector and the challenges they face, specifically the traditional small scale fishers.
Good part of the subsidies that the government of India gives to fishermen is on welfare, and that's because they are economically weaker. They need to be supported on education, on health and housing, and that should be there. And I would say that it's not a bad subsidy at all. But there are components of the subsidy, say for example for fuel, which the government can really look at changing that, in the sense making it more incentive based than giving an outright subsidy to fuel. Because fuel subsidy also helps in overcapacity, getting people to spend more to catch whatever that they are catching and getting it shared among so many people that are there. So we need to, we have already found out that there's a certain amount of overcapacity in our system, and that needs to be reduced, and therefore the fuel subsidy does not help. So that's the only thing. The other part of the subsidy is on welfare, which I think is necessary until such time that our fishermen are having improved health and living standards. So that's very important. It varies from state to state. For example, the government of Kerala does not give fuel subsidy to mechanized fishing boats. It only gives kerosene subsidy to the smaller fishing crafts. And that also they are in the process of removing it, because kerosene is a bad fuel.
Right.
And the government is trying to get the motorized fishermen into using diesel engines, which are better, more efficient and more environment friendly than the kerosene engines. They are already upset. They are already been demanding about this. The Troll Fishermen Association here is very vehement on getting more subsidy on this. But the government has been very firm, and that they are not going to give that. The main culprits, I would say, is the governments of Karnataka, Goa and Maharashtra, which are giving this enormous fuel subsidy.
Okay.
I think there also is there's a bit of payment for, especially during the ban period, the government compensates fishermen by paying a sum, and that also I think is a good move, because it is for the sake of conservation of resources that the fishermen are sacrificing their livelihood.
Right.
And therefore the government surely needs to give that. And here I think Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh have been doing it well. There needs to be more control over the fish meal and fish oil industry, because at the moment this industry's demand is driving the unsustainable practices in the fishing sector. For example, catching too many juveniles and non-edible fish, which is a primary source for the fish meal industry. So there needs to be some control by the government on the fish meal, fish oil industry, to the extent of their capacity and the way in which they are sourcing material. MPEDA, there's a Marine Products Export Development Authority, has stated that they would not be supporting further fish meal plants in the country. So that's a good step forward, because about 65% of the export earnings that we take is from the shrimp farming sector, and the MPEDA, which is an organization which is promoting exports, has come out with this, seeing that it's an unsustainable practice that is being done. So definitely there needs to be more control over fish meal and fish oil organizations.
actually asked for a closure of the high seas from fishing completely. I call it turn the high seas into a fish bank for the world, where the fish can go, get peas grow, and then they come in and we catch them cheaply, less CO2 burning. It's just a beautiful concept if you think about it. It's good for biodiversity, good for economics, and good for jobs and food for people. We talk about multiple stresses. So you have overfishing, then you have climate change, which is warming of the sea surface temperature, acidification, and also deoxygenation, taking out oxygen. So there are packets of deserts of oxygen in the ocean, and they are growing. So this is just a calamity in the making. So dealing with climate change is also very fundamental to life in the ocean and our own lives, actually. Absolutely. And it's not only about the ocean, it's also about the land. Climate change is all over. You have people leaving the interior, coming to the ocean because they can't farm and things are getting brutal there. Meanwhile, the ocean is also in trouble. My God, where do we end up? We have a big task in our hands. Humanity, wake up. Let's do something.